Hey, how's it going, folks? Well, some interesting things went down last night on Monday Night Raw. And let's get into some backstage news when it comes to Monday Night Raw. The major story coming out of there is Kairi Sane reportedly working her last television tapings. It looks like next week will be her final match on WWE television. At least for now, she is heading back to Japan. And Dave Meltzer did note on Wrestling Observer Radio today the plans to write her off television. Basically, the original plan was for her to get attacked, and then basically she'll be written off television from there. Obviously, she didn't get attacked last night. This is something that'll most likely happen next week. Her original attacker was supposed to be Natalya, who's been off TV for several weeks. Her husband, TJ Wilson, is sick. He has tested negative for COVID. They have kept her off television. So they needed somebody to replace her in this angle. She was going to originally attack Kairi Sane, injure her, write her off television. What they are planning to do at this point, it looks like Shayna Baszler, that's the reason why she did return, and she was seen on television watching the match between Kairi Sane and Bayley, and she was basically talking about how sharks are looking for their prey, and I guess that's going to be Kairi Sane most likely next week on WWE Raw, and then from there she's heading back to Japan. As far as Shayna Baszler goes, she's been off TV for a number of months at this point, and now she's recently been brought back. At one point, Vince McMahon dropped her from television, dropped her push, wasn't really into the character. They have now brought her back for this angle. Another thing that they are planting the seeds for is a possible reboot of the Nation of Domination. For those fans who may remember, in the 90s, the Nation of Domination, a faction which started in USWA with PG-13, eventually went to WWE, had a number of members, Farouk, aka Ron Simmons, The Godfather, The Rock, Owen Hart, Mark Henry, just to name a few. I guess last night, Dave Meltzer did note that the reason they brought Ron Simmons back was for that angle. Clearly it didn't happen last night, but that was the original reason they did bring him back. Whether or not they're going to continue with the angle, that is unknown, but they did bring him back basically to revamp the Nation of Domination. He was seen talking to Lashley and MVP, as well as the Viking Raiders later in the program. So those are two interesting tidbits from last night's Raw. There was a number of rewrites. Vince basically ripped up the script, rewrote the whole thing prior to, and they ended up taping hours later than they were supposed to. I was listening to Mike Johnson's review afterwards. They were supposed to actually start at 12:30, and then they were supposed to start at 1. They ended up being about 2 hours late on their tapings. They did tape yesterday's program as well as next week's program, so we'll just have to wait and see how this one all does come out. What do you think of this angle? Shayna Baszler possibly attacking Kairi Sane to write her off TV, and also a possible Nation of Domination reboot in WWE. As always, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to DDT that like button and subscribe, join the notification squad to be notified of new videos, and have a great day.